First Flip is a TV show where 3 people from 3 different worlds come together to create opportunities to leave a legacy.
Terry is a high-energy powerhouse realtor with a success story like no other.
Rob and Shannon are a super fun, down-to-earth couple that have beat the odds and are wildly successful in the real estate world.
Rob is a high-energy, big-hearted guy whose canvas is the houses that he works on. As y'all can tell, Rob is on go all the time.
Whoa! So getting into real estate honestly was a lot harder than I thought. To be real, I thought it was just about, learning how to show houses and whatnot. I was in for a rude awakening.
This is what I do, this is what you do, this is what you do. How can I add value to your life and vice versa?
What we got, baby?
In here, I started with, so I think we need windows, obviously, right? We need to, you just help me itemize this thing. We're gonna board up the chimney.
Yeah.
Then open this wall up a little bit.
Yeah.
Open, I'm trying to write as fast as you're talking.
Open concept feel as much as we can.
Open wall at kitchen. All right, let's talk about how far we wanna open it up. So I wouldn't wanna open it up any more on this side than
Right.
right here. Feel me?
You keeping the stove there?
I think so, and we'll just end up putting a little
Okay.
cabinet, just run this cabinets right down this wall and run a little 2 over here.
Alright.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna feel so much bigger with this wall.
That's super close up.
I'm hoping there's hardwoods under there.
Oh, so you want to do it all over?
I'd love to if we can. Oh!
It is.
I think it is. Oh, it's different. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, don't touch that mold.
Ooh, baby, look at that.
Touch that Corona.
That's the extra that we want to find before the contractor finds it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, I think that's roach poop.
Yeah, don't touch me anymore.
I think it's gonna land at 22K.
Okay.
I mean, we can go in here later tonight when I get home.
Yeah.
And add up every little thing, but
Yeah. I think that's
we've done enough of these where we know we're
Yeah.
gonna be right in there, 22 to 25K.
get it done.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
What do you think we're gonna make on this thing?
I need at least 20.
Well, look,
If not,
Shannon told me that with the comps in the area, that she can list this house and confidently.
I was thinking 129. Just to push it. Just that easy.
129. I mean, we'll just tell her. She worked for us.
You said it. I'm gonna call it now.
All right. I mean, I'm cool with that. 129 and expect to.
Yeah, if we don't get nothing first week, then adjust. But I just know by the type of work we do and the lack of inventory, that's still a good price.
It's gonna be good.
I think so.
All right. Do you think once I do this, I'll send you an email tonight. Me and you will both approve it, and then call square.
Let them go to work.
Bam. Let's make it.
All right, man. Yeah, so a couple years ago, my wife and I was looking for a house. We wanted to be in Norwood because Norwood was the new and thriving place in Birmingham, just with location and all of the good stuff that's coming in Norwood. And so I would, me being a realtor, I would watch the internet and see what's popping up. I would ride through neighborhoods. However, when I would come through Norwood, I would always see these signs that said 3D property, another renovation going on by 3D property. And so honestly, man, I was thinking it was just some big corporation that just came in the black neighborhood and was trying to capitalize on what was going on, right? That's just what I thought. However, they did great work. And I said, man, well, whoever they are, they're successful and I want to get to know them. So ironically, one of my lenders called me one day and said, hey, I got a house that's coming up. I think it'd be perfect for you and your family. And I said, okay, cool, tell me more about it. And he was like, it's being remodeled by 3D. And I'm like, man, I've been wanting to meet them. He was like, well, I got it, I can call them right now.
Our lender connected the 2 of us, planned for him to come out and look at the house. And so Terry and Joel come pulling up.
All the workers are kind of leaving for the day. So I go through the back and here comes this short white guy coming out, this porta potty. He's like, what's up? And I was like, man, I'm looking for Rob. He's like, I am Rob.
He was like, your 3D properties?
Yeah, right. That was our first interaction with Terry Mills, and I don't know. There's something about that bald-headed black man that just, how can you not like, right? I mean, seriously.
But we walked Terry through the house and he fell in love with it, brought his wife over. She loved it. We made a few changes that she wanted to make and they bought it from us and we've just been
that wasn't
friends.
easy. That wasn't easy. So one of the first things I tell people is don't fall in love with the house, right? Don't fall in love with the house. It's business. I fell in love with this particular house. I was in love with it. And so when Terry and his wife were wanting to lock it up under contract before we were finished with it, they were wanting us to make changes that I didn't have planned in my head, and it was hard for me to make those changes. Terry,
What's up, baby?
yesterday I wasn't able to make it. Was Square good to go?
Hey, he's great. He's actually ahead of schedule, man. So I walked through everything, and signed off on his first draw.
Boom!
Let's go see what they're doing.
That's great.
All right.
I want to go check it out.
Hey, did you notice I did it again?
It's all right. I've kind of pre-laid some stuff out. You tell me if you like this.
Okay.
All right. So look, contractor already cut the door in here.
Right.
Perfect. I like to put the vanity in front of the door.
Right.
In this space, I don't think it's going to be good. So it will be nice if we put a glass door on the shower.
Walk
You
straight
can
in.
see the niche when you walk in. Be real pretty, right? Toilet right here on that same wall.
Which way is the toilet facing? This
It
way?
would come this way. Yeah.
So everything's facing this way?
Everything's facing this way. Now we've got the second closet in the bed. We'll keep that closet. Now this space can be closet.
Okay.
And we don't have to get rid of the windows.
Wait. Toilet, which, so this, where you're standing is closet?
Look, picture me.
I got it now.
So we've been married almost 10 years. We've been together about 15. It seems like 30.
I started flipping houses in 2010, and I was doing work as a contractor for other people. And I started realizing pretty quickly that I could provide a better product than what they were asking me to provide. And so I just blindly, without knowing anything, went out and started my own business. You're gonna have a washer box right here,
So
and
side by side right
and the
here.
dryer plug right
Okay,
here.
yeah.
We're gonna run a little shelf right above it.
Okay, then we can take it.
Yep, right out.
Right there.
I'd like to do the washing machine on the left side if possible, and the dryer.
This is closet here.
Mhm.
All right. All right, so you
Take it down and
take it
outside.
out. There we go.
Woo,
There
baby!
we go. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna drive. We gotta
We're
down,
good.
below, go
Yeah.
straight out.
It's gonna be, look, this is the wish list, 36 inch. If we have to do a
And
30, we
slash,
understand.
slash down 36 wish list, and then put slash on it so I know.
Yep, got it. Or 30 inch, okay?
Yeah.
Then the shitter is gonna go somewhere right in here.
Right shitter. When
I'll write toilet, so.
No, shitter.
Yeah.
I like the way that sounds.
Yeah. We're totally-
But I'm happy with what he's doing too.
Are you?
Yeah,
I know this was
I
a
was
little hard for you to let go and let somebody else run the show.
super nervous,
all
super
good.
nervous, yeah.
I think he's a good fit for what we got going on. Plus, he gets what we want: quality, time, importance of him overseeing the
Yeah.
jobs. And
What I'm most impressed about is on the stuff we were talking about, like, hey, we want you to do this, without handing him a list. And the next day he came and was doing what we had
remembered it.
talked. He remembered
Yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah.
pretty impressed with
Yeah.
that. So,
I'm
you know,
loving it.
some of the little stuff that
Yeah.
they might do different than I do. I
Yeah.
mean, we can oversee
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. I'm not a perfectionist, but I expect excellence from everybody around me. And that's a blessing and a curse, because when you're in business with your wife and you have high expectations, and it's not like she's coming in underneath, but I'm expecting something up here a lot of times, and I get, okay, well, that's not exactly how I want it, and I'm very hard to deal with. I know this. I'm very hard to do. I want stuff done right this second, and I want it done exactly this way, and it never, let's just be honest, it never comes out the way that we are expecting it in our heads, right? And so I'm very hard to deal with there.
So getting into real estate honestly was a lot harder than I thought. To be real, I thought it was just about, learning how to show houses and whatnot. I was in for a rude awakening. So, you know, I had to take class for 6 months, and honestly, the course was a lot more challenging than I thought. We was learning about stuff that I just didn't even think we needed to learn about. However, that was part of the process. When it came time to take that test, I struggled with that as well, and actually had to take it 4 times before I even got my license. So I knew then and there I had to take this real estate thing a lot more serious. When I first became a realtor, I was going to do it part-time. However, once I got laid off, I realized this was all I had, and so I gave it everything I had. My first 6 months was very challenging, man. I actually sold 1 house, wasn't making any money, ended up having to file bankruptcy, had cars repoed. However, I was gaining a lot of traction in the real estate world, just wasn't making any money because it takes time. However, I just kept persevering, man, and then, you know, I actually ended up having a successful first full year, selling 41 houses and actually winning Rookie of the Year. So at that time, I really just looked at it as a way to make money. I really didn't realize the impact that I was making in people's lives by helping them, you know, achieve that American dream. My wife, Tequila, is my better half. Without her, I know I could not do this. She creates balance, she keeps me on point, and she's not scared to critique me if I'm doing something wrong. But not only that, she's my biggest supporter. So without her, I know none of this will happen. I think it's fair to say that my humble beginnings in real estate is what creates the drive and keeps me going. And so from the very beginning, I told myself, you know, if I ever get in this business, I'm gonna go hard. So every year I always try to rebrand myself to do something different. You know, I started off with a team. From that started off, you know, the Run Club, then we created a scholarship fund. You know, I was able to write a book, just so many amazing things that the Lord has given me this opportunity to do all through real estate.
With Terry and I being the real estate agents at the very beginning of this thing, we are looking at tons of properties. And this particular property, Terry sent to me and said, hey, what do you think? This guy's reached out to me, and this is the address. And typically I will go and look at comps, look at potential for ARV on a flip project that these guys do.
But we felt like we didn't have a lot of time on this one, and so Shannon wasn't able to do all her background stuff. Terry and I were actually in the front yard looking at this house, calling Shannon, talking about, hey, let's go ahead and see if you can get this thing wrapped up.
And so I wrote the contract, the offer on it, and sent it to the contact that Terry had, and negotiated with him, and it was a pretty tough negotiation, but we finally got it and got it locked in under contract and closed on it so that these guys could start their renovation process.
We were all standing in the front yard. Terry had just said several times, man, I want to paint this house black. And I was like, Terry, come on, man. At this point, I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to let anybody paint this house black. And he says it like 3 times, man, I really feel like we ought to paint this black. And he's all excited about it. And he's doing like, you know, and hey, man, this can be our signature. And I just go, oh, okay, let's do a black house, right? And all of a sudden, I remember this song from the 70s, Black Betty. And I started singing it in the front yard. Terry was laughing at me because I don't think he had heard it at the time, right? I was going, oh, Black Betty, wham-a-lam, oh, Black Betty, wham-a-lam, Black Betty had a child, wham-a-lam, damn thing went wild. And we were just cracking up in the front yard, cracking up. Well, the funny thing about that is, we decided we were going to call it Black Betty. Well, Terry goes back to the office, I don't know, a day or 2 later, calls me from there and says, man, everybody in the office is dying laughing. We're listening to this Black Betty song from the 70s in my office. You got to realize, Terry isn't in a little bitty office. He's got this big old office. I don't know how many people were sitting around with him dying laughing. Black Betty. Black Betty was born.
What you think, man, so far?
Man, I mean, I'm happy with what's going on with the painters. So it's been prepped,
Right.
which is the biggest thing
Right.
for me on painters.
That's saying a lot because you don't like anything.
I don't like anything. My dad was a painter from back in the 70s.
I get it.
He trained
I
me
get it.
how to paint. And this
Right.
is, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Awesome. Oh man, look at the
Check
new
out.
laundry room.
Yeah.
Woo!
So you could never, looking at this, you can't even tell this was a bedroom at one time.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So opening, I think it was real smart, man, to put the laundry room here.
Such a good design feature.
Yeah. I
mean,
it.
that
You
little-
sounded very professional when you said that. design feature.
That little bedroom didn't make any
Nah,
sense.
it did, man. It was good, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to get this one on the market. What you think, man? About 2 weeks, we should be almost done with this one.
I think so. About 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Gives us a couple more times to
Yeah.
get the grass looking good.
Right.
Okay. I think the contractor should definitely be done in 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
we'll wait until all this
Yeah.
is gone, and we'll call the landscaper.
Yeah. So we'll be on beginning of May. Shoot. End of the month, we should be under contract.
So, I mean, typically, is that when you want to have all these houses, or I mean, it doesn't really matter
In
these
this
days,
market,
right?
man, it does not matter, man.
But how long is it going to take before we have a contract?
Check me out. You ready?
Yeah.
I look good while I'm saying this?
Yeah.
First week, baby.
First week.
Man, I guarantee you.
Yeah, so fun fact, Shannon and I were homeless and addicted to drugs and alcohol, what, 14 years ago. And through a lot of hard work and through the grace of God, we're both real estate agents. We own a real estate brokerage, and we started flipping houses. One afternoon, I had about 4 guys in a house with me, and we were, we had gotten comfortable with what we were doing, and next thing you know, 2 guys come walking in the back door with pistols. They both racked rounds in their pistols, told everybody to get on their knees, That was pretty scary. It really made me wonder, do I really want to continue flipping houses? Shannon tells me, hey, I don't want to be a widow. I'm too young to be a widow. And so we had to really start changing the way we looked at what we were doing at that point in time. And so we decided, let's change some of our business model and let's do a little bit different. So let's sell to homeowners and make a little bit different spreads. We changed the entire business model after I got robbed that time.
The layout, I think, is really it flows. You made it flow very nicely, given what it used to be from what you've described.
Right.
So, I think it's adorable.
Releasing control, I guess, is what really hard for me. And it was a big time learning experience on Black Betty. Releasing enough control and having to have trust that someone is going to get your product to the finish line on time, because honestly, one of the biggest costs in these flips is time, and the longer it takes, the more it costs, because we don't have a whole heck of a lot of money. We borrow money to do these projects, right? So as we do First Flip, we're hoping to teach people how to borrow money correctly and how to manage properties correctly. And so we learned a lot through this process. One of the great things about our relationship is that you've been a top-notch real estate agent for a long time, so you can look through the lens.
I like that top-notch.
It's cool. Platinum. You look through the lens of the buyers, right?
Right.
And so you were able to help me.
Right. Because it's easy, because I know what people want these days, right? They want the open concept, big bathrooms. Those are things that sell. New filling kitchen, and so it was a really no-brainer. I think overall we did great. We was able to buy it for a good price, and the margins were so good, and we still was able to deliver an affordable house to somebody. So it was a win-win for everybody.
That was good. In the end, we were over budget some.
Right.
Not incredibly much. I think the biggest thing that sent us over the budget was we had some disagreements, I guess, with the contractor, and we ended up paying for a lot more of the materials that we were going to in the front end, then time. The time that took on that one.
Right.
A lot longer than what
time was probably the biggest one.
It was.
Because it should have been a lot faster. However, we kind of made up for it by selling it the first day. Boom.